you're here today. And we have an amazing episode for you today. Glad you're here. Listen, people are watching. They're watching you, and you may not even know it. Now, full disclosure, that's not the main reason why you need to do the right thing. So I don't want to start the show off with you thinking Ramon's saying because people are watching, that's why you should do the right thing. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that could be an incentive for you to do the right thing and to be aware that people are always watching, people are always learning, so you never know. But we'll dive into that more in today's brand new episode of The Rundown with Ramon, and I'm glad you're here today. We're also going to touch on Apple is revealing faster, cheaper MacBooks. Usually that would not be a news headline of the day today, but half the world uses Macs, as it were. It's huge in popularity, at least in the USA. So it is a news item because I'm thinking of getting a Mac. And also, Meta is doubling down on superintelligence with a new team. So welcome to today's Rundown with Ramon. Glad you're here today to enjoy the show, to learn. This is going to be a little shorter episode today, and we're going to enjoy each and every one of it. I'm glad you're here. Thanks. Sit back and relax. Let's go. So let me dive into this flagship topic that people are always watching. Earlier today, I was on Clubhouse, the social audio app. Clubhouse is the social audio app, and there's a channel on there called Breakfast with Champions, which has been around since the COVID times of 2020. And I was on there today, and somebody was recounting a story. They were saying, "Hey, Ramon, I remember when you were at a auto dealership with a friend of mine. We were together, an experience we were doing in Atlanta, I believe it was. And I grabbed a vacuum cleaner because the floor was dirty, and I was helping somebody do something. Don't remember the full context, but I do remember taking the vacuum and vacuuming the floor because it was a bit dirty. And today, 5 years, 6 years later, somebody remembered that experience, and I guess it meant something to them. I wasn't trying to show off. I wasn't trying to be super humble. I wasn't trying to be somebody I'm not. It's just me. I love to serve, love to help, or when I see a need, when I see extra something on the floor or around, I want to jump in and help. And so I did that. They saw that. They remembered it. And it wasn't so much that they saw it. That's part of the story, that people are always watching. That's the story of the day today. But it wasn't so much that they saw it. It was that they remembered it and what an impact it had made on them. That was the key operable, that it made an impact on them, that they saw it, and that it made an impact on them. Those two things. So my message of the day today, the one point today, and today is Rundown with Ramon, which will be a brief episode. Going to a school today where I do some volunteer work to teach a speech class, and I want to get there on time. It's about a half an hour, 45 minutes through traffic. I want to show up on time. Depending on if there's traffic, it's more. But the lesson today, the message today is that it's important that we're always doing the right thing. It's important that we show up and do the right thing. One, because it's morally right, because that's what God calls us to do the right thing to our fellow person. We should do no harm to anyone. We should always want to do the right thing to a fellow human or plant or animal. Do the right thing, period, just because it's the right thing to do. And this is getting where morality comes in. I can't justify why to do it, except it's the right thing to do. But also because there's people watching us. And not to do it only for that. To be very clear, not to do it only for that. No, not all. But the two things that you never know who's observing, you never know who's watching, you never know what kind of impact we can make in someone's life, and we don't know they're observing us, unawares that they're there, right there, just watching. We don't know who it is. We don't know who it is. Second of all, we don't know what impact we could make for them. They're watching, and maybe that's very meaningful for them. Maybe we're doing something wrong, and that impact is a negative impact. So what are we doing that's making an impact in somebody else's life? What are we doing that's making a difference in somebody else, that somebody can look at our life, and somebody can get something from it? Do we have an obligation for this? Do we have an obligation to do the right thing? And I would dare say, yes, we do. And the other aspect of it, the other part of this is, it's amazing how people remember things that we've done. This gentleman was recounting the story of what I was doing. I don't remember, but 6 years later, it had made an impact for him. He remembered that about Ramon. Now, he may not have remembered it the day before. He may not have remembered it 2 years ago. It happened 6 years ago. But in that moment, when he was thinking about Ramon Ray, he was like, I remember this about Ramon. And it felt very surreal. It felt kind of in a way that that I was having a funeral service happening for me that I observed from afar, like my own funeral service, that I was not in the casket or coffin per se, but I was watching it happen in front of me. That's how it felt today. And it got me thinking, man, he remembered me taking a vacuum cleaner and cleaning up a carpet. He remembered that. That made an impact on him. He was watching, and I didn't even realize he was watching, but it meant something to him. So my encouragement today is that people are watching, and this is not why we need to do the right thing. Of course, this is not why. But it's something for us to think about. How are we living our life? Are we living our life every day as if it could be our last? Are we living our life every day as if people are in a funeral service watching and getting ready to talk about us? Are we living our life like that? And this is how we should be living our life. This is so important, everybody. My name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon. Glad you're here today. Dr. Will Moreland, thanks for showing up. Thanks for being a part of today's Rundown with Ramon. Love how you show up, brother. I just mentioned you to somebody else, to Carl Gray, just on Tuesday. Tuesday, he was with me. So that's number one, to encourage us all. How are we showing up? And remember, some of us know we need to show up because we have children. Some of us know we need to show up to be an example to our kids, be an example to our spouses, our wives, our husbands, be an example to our nieces, our nephews, be an example to our co-workers at work, be an example to a number of people for any number of reasons, because we're leaders. And whether you're leaders in a corporate sense, you're leading a defined team, or you're a leader in the more embryonic sense, that you're just here and somebody's there. Isn't this not the human obligation that we have to show up for each other? Everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon, and I hope this simple message of the day today on today's Rundown with Ramon has been to encourage you to show up proper, to show up right, to pop your collar. Yes, because it's the right thing to do. It's the moral thing to do, what God wants us to do. But number two, people are watching. People are observing. That's number two. Number three, we never know what an impact we can make on somebody else by our actions. It's not so much what we're saying. It's by our actions. This is so important. Ding, 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 ding. I want to touch on something else today as we have an abbreviated version of the Rundown with Ramon. Apple is big reveal to include faster, cheaper MacBooks. I thought it was pretty interesting. Apple fans will be eagerly watching the company's Experience event Wednesday, where the tech giant is expected to reveal a new, more affordable MacBook. Earlier this week, Apple launched updated versions of MacBook Air and MacBook Pro featuring significantly faster processors and higher prices, starting at $1,099 and around $4,000, respectively. Behind the price hike, a wide-ranging memory storage that's impacting major tech firms, from Qualcomm to Samsung. After a disappointing holiday sales season, Apple is hoping the faster models will encourage customers to upgrade their current laptops. Yeah, maybe it is, and I think it's interesting. We're talking about technology today, but I think that sometimes there's a delta in knowing who your customer is. If you have to divide people into three buckets, I bet there's this middle majority of people like me that are only going to upgrade if we really need to upgrade. A faster laptop, don't know if that's just a reason to upgrade when my current one is doing just fine. Isn't life like that? I'm okay. Why do I need to change? I'm okay. My husband loves me. Why do I need to change how I am? My wife loves me. Why do I need to change how I am? Or they tolerate me. Maybe I don't need to change. My grades are okay. Maybe I don't need to change to get better grades. Why change? Middle of the road people. You then have some people, they always want the latest, the greatest. They're always on the edge. And maybe that's another example of you or I. We always are seeking to improve. That's different than getting a new MacBook. But you follow the analogy I'm trying to bring here. We always are seeking to improve, always are seeking to change. Thinking of that. Then you have this last group. They may never, ever change. Maybe people who never make their bed, never clean their car. The house is always dirty. They may never change. Which group are you in? Apple's upgrading its MacBook, and I've only had PC my whole life, but I'm getting tired of having low battery life, 1 or 2 hours on my laptop and having to always plug in. So I may switch to a Mac. I may. And maybe I'm just getting the wrong PCs from Dell or HP, Lenovo, as it were. We'll see. But also for our own lives, what kind of person are we? Are we middle of the road people? Middle of the road who just only change if we have to? Or we middle of the road people? That's the first level. We never will change, actually. Or middle of the road people only change if we have to, rather. The first set of people who will never, ever change. They're always going to be stuck. Or the third group, maybe, people who are always looking to change and improve. Which type of people are we? Which type of person are you? Everybody, again, welcome to a brand new show. This is The Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray. Glad you're here today. All right, next up. Meta doubles down on superintelligence with a new team. Meta is putting together a new applied engineering group to build the data engine that helps our models get better and faster, said Reality Labs exec Mayor Saba in a memo seen by the Wall Street Journal. Saba will lead the new organization, which will have two teams, one focused on building interfaces, another for churning out data and feedback. Meta's Superintelligence Labs division has been on a growth tear since its creation last year. Here's my question of the day to you. Meta is growing. Meta is having super intelligent teams, which is news in itself. There's a race with Claude, which is made by Anthropic. There's a race with ChatGPT made by OpenAI. There's a race with Google Gemini. There's a race with Microsoft Copilot and their AI intelligence. There's a race with other companies, including my friends at Zoho and other companies that you don't see so much in the headlines, but they're invested much in the enterprise AI world. Not so much the consumer space, and you have other applications, even Canva and other tools and services that are dabbling in AI. And then you have Meta, Meta's one of the leading companies here, Facebook. They're pouring into AI to do things like what? Making advertising faster, better, and easier for all of us. That's how they're leveraging and pouring into the power of AI. So the question for you is, what are you pouring into? What are you doing? How are you building a better business? My name is Ramon Ray. This is an abbreviated version of the Rundown with Ramon. Got to run out and pour into and volunteer some volunteer work for a school I'm volunteering with. But I hope you've enjoyed this nugget, and I'll be back Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow. Hey, LaShawn, thanks so much. Got to wrap this show up. Got to get in the car and run out to school